I'm Indy Neidell.
And I'm Spartacus Olsson.
And this is the first edition of Across the Airwaves, a new format of ours where we read to you some comments that we've gotten on my regular weekly episodes and his War Against Humanity series that we thought stood out in some special way that we wish to share. We are not editing in our opinions or changing the content, just maybe correcting some grammar. So here we go. We're going to start today with a little play written as a comment by cholericbloodmoon, and we need Wieke's help in order to do this. So, it's the end of May 1940, and I'm Britain.
And I'm France.
And I'm Belgium.
And... scene.
I surrender.
Mais merde, alors c'est pas possible. C'est betrayal.
Never before
C'est merde, alors mais c'est pas possible. Mais qu'est-ce qu'ils font ces Belgiques? Oui, allô?
All right, there is no hope left in this fight. France, cover my ass while I redeploy. I don't feel like Helmut visiting me.
Deployment? Where?
On my side of the channel, of course.
And when do you start this?
I started yesterday. Why?
And who's manning your positions?
This is exactly why I'm ringing you. My boys left those positions a few hours ago. So if you would be so kind as to man them while I save as many soldiers as I can.
C'est britannique, mais c'est pas possible. And you tell me this now. Okay, Britain, save as many as you can, but
Yes,
don't forget to take mine too.
Of course, absolutely. Our boys first, and the others if we still have room in the last boat.
Battle-worn, dog-tired, hungry but undefeated. Their spirit was never broken. Their ranks were solid to the end. And they had inflicted terrible losses on the enemy as they fought every inch of the road back.
Britain, you removed all your boys. And what are you waiting for with my poilus?
It's tea time, so one moment, please.
Putain, mais c'est britannique, mais c'est pas possible!
So they came across the channel, many of them wounded, but all of them cheerful.
Well, France, that is why we always say, live to fight another day.
Yes, right, so, I see you sending my poilus back to France, and when are your boys going to come back and fight again? Oh mais merde, alors, mais c'est pas possible, mais c'est britannique. C'est des connards, mais c'est... Putain de merde. Allô? Allô? Oh là là. Okay, Germany, let's just stop this. I surrender.
What the actual fuck, France? You have to keep fighting.
Listen, I don't see you fighting right now, okay? As you said, live to fight another day.
Coward! Coward!
Double standards, much?
I don't talk to cowards. Oh, by the way, while I've got you on the line, please surrender your navy to me.
Non, pourquoi? Mais non, mais c'est pas vrai ça. My navy is safe in Moroccan waters. And I promise you, it will not fight yours.
You didn't go for it. Go ahead and sink them.
Mais merde, alors, mais putain, mais... Ouais, quoi? Non? Allô? Oui? Mais merde, hé, allô, écoute, Bretagne, qu'est-ce que t'as fait là? Your sailors, why did you attack me?
Your sailors opened fire on me.
But of course they did. You sank some of our ships. You did it without warning. That is self-defense.
Look, you're a coward and you didn't give me your boats. And if I can't have them, then nobody should have them either.
Putain, mais c'est britannique, mais c'est pas possible. Oui, allô?
Hello, Free French Brigade. Look, cover my ass while I redeploy. I don't feel like Hans visiting me.
Okay, we'll keep them away from you. How long do you need?
And as long as you can, really. Time is of the essence to allow us to keep up any hope of winning the next battle.
Okay, I'm on it. Pas de problème.
June the 10th at Bir Hakeim. Under General Koenig, a gallant band of free Frenchmen held out against the most intensive attacks Rommel could hurl against them. Foreign legionaries, true to their tradition, They hung on until ordered to withdraw, holding up the drive against the brook. They mostly disdained steel helmets, preferring the picturesque cap of the Foreign Legion. At last they received the order to withdraw after 16 days in hell, after almost unceasing dive bombing, many of them veterans of 30 campaigns. 2 years almost to the day since great France fell, they are a word of hope and courage to their prostrate motherland.
Well, we did all the work again, and our boys won the battle once again.
Ces Britanniques, they are just not impossible. C'est impossible ce qu'ils font là.
French are cowards. French are cowards. French are cowards. French are cowards.
When does World War III begin? Because I'd like to ally with whoever opposes the British.
Under the video from A Nazi Europe from June 22nd, Kenzo, 3 O's at the end, added this bit of interesting information. You could have mentioned that de Gaulle, surrounded by Rittenauer, proposed 2 options to continue the war. Retreat toward Brittany to manage a narrower front while still being close to the UK, allowing reinforcements, or evacuating to Great Britain if things went bad. He called it the redouit breton and was favorable to this option. 2. Reform the government in Algiers, evacuate as many soldiers to North Africa as possible, and continue the fight from the colonies, backed by the Navy. Actually, several politicians and officers in favor of continuing the war did embark aboard a ship to Algeria with the mission of preparing the foundations of a new government there. But while they were at sea, they learned about the armistice. And when arriving in Algeria, they were arrested by Vichy authorities, imprisoned, and judged as cowards and traitors.
Under the June War Against Humanity episode, The European Migration Crisis, Anna Fiernan gave us some perspective from Poland. She writes, I knew about all the things that happened to my country, Poland, during World War II. We learn about them extensively here, and unfortunately, it affected us so much it left impact even on today's everyday life. I'm aware, though, that some facts I learned can be a little biased, although, fortunately, I had a great level-headed history teacher. And some people here like to make us the ultimate victim. But then I watched these videos and I realized that the sufferings my country went through are as real as they can be, and actually even worse. And it honestly terrifies me. Every episode, I wonder what topic Spartacus will talk about, and almost every time Poland is brought up. It just makes my heart ache. I'm so lucky I have the chance to live in a free country. My ancestors didn't have this privilege, and they had to fight for their lives. Great thanks to the team for bringing the light to these events for people not familiar with them. I just hope everyone would learn from humanity's past mistakes so no one ever will have to go through a war like that again.
Martin Frank shared a very personal story under Blitzkrieg in the West, the May 18th episode of World War II in real time. He writes, let me share 2 diary entries from my father's diary, then a 14-year-old. Utrecht, Tuesday, May 14th, early morning. In the early morning, I heard a strange noise, as if thousands of people with heavy boots were walking randomly through our street, but there was no one there. When I turned the corner onto the Jutphaas Road, I saw throngs of young soldiers. As I got closer, I realized something terrible must have happened during the night. The soldiers wandered around with hollow, red eyes, their clothes torn, muddied and in disorder, some with and some without weapons, some on bare feet, some cried. Others had blank faces or an expression of agony. Yet others again had a mad look and pointed their guns randomly at the air or at people. Then I saw, at the other end of the road, masses of them sleeping in the bushes and on the lawns next to the road, lying there in strange positions as if they fell off a vehicle there. Residents came out of their homes and took some soldiers in for a quick wash, some breakfast, or some soup. That's when the stories emerged and some wailing began about the lost battle at the Grebet line. and one soldier started crying and going around apologizing to everyone while in tears. Utrecht, Tuesday, May 14th, around 6 p.m. I saw a group of 5 or 6 soldiers sitting on the bridge on the Youthfoss Road. I sat down with them, and they were joking about girls they were looking forward to seeing again after the war. One of them suddenly broke out in tears and cried for his mother. Everyone just let him be. While we sat there, the sun grew pale and then dark. Then a cloud of what seemed shreds of paper, but if you caught one, it turned to ashes in your hand. One of the soldiers said, "There must be a big fire somewhere," and recommended I go home. Arriving home, my father asked me where I had been. He was worried, he said, because the Germans had dropped pamphlets over Utrecht that the city would be bombed tonight if the Dutch army would not surrender immediately. At 6:45, the radio reported that Rotterdam was burning, its ashes raining down as far away as our home, and the army had surrendered. Outside, I saw a blood-red sunset, and it was clear to me life would never be the same again. Okay, that brings us to the end of the first episode of Across the Airwaves. Again, these are comments from you, content unedited. You are very welcome to keep those comments coming. As many of you know, we read them all.
And it isn't just your comments that keep us running, but also your support on Patreon, which funds this show. You can join us at patreon.com or timeghost.tv.
And if you'd like to see how the radio age really exploded and how it was used and abused from the very start, you can click here for our Between Two Wars episode about that. You can also click subscribe and click the bell, and see you next time.